So at that point, we should now be live. And what we're going to do is basically coordinate between these two disciplines, make sure you guys are still gaining the speed that you need and moving along and sharing our screens and get ready for a good positive work week.
Okay.
All right, hold on a second. I got one problem. All right, now let's see if that should have solved the problem.
My volume was loud again.
Well, no, it kicked on that live stream automatically and it had its volume on, so I was getting a feedback echo. We should be good now. All right, so you want to show me any other locations where you're having problems?
Let me see.
Or do you want to look at a couple more of those ones? You see, like I said, Misty, that view that he's in right now, that's everything that's crossing at a spot where it really can't cross. So when he picks these two things and goes into a section box, that's it.
No, I hit BX. Light blues peaked out at the steel.
The light blues peaked out at the steel. That's once again, I think your problem is you need to cross. You need to invert your cross is what you're going to find.
Man, that got to get down for this guy right here. Purple's got to get low for that big piece.
Well, that tells me that the blue needs to move away so that you can do a roll and offset and get up over that. So where the blue is, that's why I say we need that second section box working right. That one there, I need to figure out where the blue is going to. All right. So stretch your view out a little bit. Let's see what turn it's making there. You see what I'm saying is it's making a dog leg to the left and then back to the north. And all I'm saying is you should be able to pull that away from that heavy structure area. Take your section box right now and stretch it down, right? You see, You see how that crossover, where it's making that crossover?
Okay, and then dump this up into the pocket?
Yes. Pull away far enough from that open web joist that you can roll that pink up into, or that purple up into the pocket.
Yeah, but then what about these things that tap off of it?
I think I would be tapping off the bottom, going through the secondary structure if there's room for you to get below the secondary structure.
See, on some of these, I don't think there is. You see this one right here?
All right, then it needs to stay above the secondary structure, and that's where my concern is. Any inline devices that are in there are going to be a problem. What's that?
You won't be able to reach through to them.
That's correct.
I don't see any on this line, though.
Stretch your section box a little bit further south.
It goes out to the edge, and then it drops down some more.
Yeah, see, I think I would be rolled up in that pocket and dropping all those ducks out the bottom. I think you have a better chance of crossing that up.
All right. Man, you're killing me.
No, see, that's the whole thing is you won't see these things because I have been just where you are. Once your brain is locked into one way of doing it, you won't see these options and alternatives.
Yeah. All right.
We're having lots of fireworks. You guys having fireworks?
No.
That's probably just strictly a deal of too much height.
Steel grid.
Yep. That's one we're going to need to flatten, but also look at that a little bit more from the top. There's no way it can do that. There's no way it can cut through those soffit walls like that.
Yeah, I was curious about that. And check this out. Actually, I thought I put a note on these guys. That thing's going into the fucking wall space.
Yes.
or something. It's going in
And the
here.
soffit, if you rolled that over, you're going to see there's two soffits there at two different heights. So you now pull a little bit more to the side, and you're exactly right. I mean,
so, and then they do it down here as well. So this one here really needs to push up.
no. Look what I would be thinking.
Pull this
Zoom
whole
out
thing
right there.
straight.
I would push all of that over into the full circle. I would
not
not
have
be
it come straight down.
You almost come straight down. Mm-hmm.
And then these two that come over here, they're just going to get stretched over till they puncture that wall.
Do they need to puncture that wall? Look at the plenum space up under there.
Yeah, how else are you going to be returning from this open air space?
So legitimately, they actually need to be turned and go perpendicular through those soffit walls. Right? You should be penetrating those arced walls at a perpendicular. You shouldn't be coming through them at some whack angle.
Oh, I got you. I should actually go out at the angle so that it goes through that wall and then just has a
exactly.
Open drill.
Exactly.
Is that supply?
That's return.
Okay, because a lot of times it's just an open plenum. So
that's what this is. That's what this is those are just returns trying to suck out of that plenum space.
But I think they may not have meant for them to be over there, but it would make sense that they're something sucking from over here.
Well, and you could check, and that's where it's nice to have your system. What I typically have is my 3D view. All right, so if you're in that big large view, go hit your 3D house at the top.
Yeah. This one you mean?
Yep.
I usually have it open. I just wasn't utilizing it enough with that pink thing.
And then here I would turn the pink thing off so I could actually see what my damn runs were.
And dude, I cleared a lot out of that pink thing.
Oh, I know it. Remember,
excuse me.
What we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to link in what the designers had drawn and lay that over ours so that we can say, this is where we ran it. This is where it was. You need to give an approval before anyone moves forward. And that's what really has to happen.
So you would say move it over and don't penetrate these walls? Maybe assume this guy's the return air for that?
That's exactly what I would assume.
Okay, but we'll put a note on these two and say, what space are they providing?
Well, and look at it from what you're seeing right there. You can sort of see. If you have purple from that air handling unit on the other side of that wall, then they should go through the wall. You see where I'm talking about? I'm not looking at the blue.
Unit.
You got it. That's exactly what I'm saying.
But what unit is that? Oh, yeah, it is right there. It's coming from that. But see, look at that. That's actually this feeding this space too.
Because look, there's some purple branched over into that area.
Yeah, right there. I see it. Yeah. Okay.
So, but I remember one time I did a job where the return air just came into that plenum area, and then you had grills in the ceiling that weren't connected to any ductwork, but that just pulled that return air up into the plenum.
That's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. If you look, he's got it. You see the little gray ones? The gray grills in that view right there?
Those ones, yeah.
And see, what you really want to do, Eric, is you want to pick a couple of those gray ones that are right there in that area. Okay? Now, see, the one you picked right now, that's actually for the next system over.
Okay.
You see how the purple's feeding that? So if you got a couple of those gray ones, and then up at the top that says system or something like that. It's the last icon on your screen right now. It says duct and it has a system. Across the top, all your buttons, all the way at the end. That thing. Yeah. Okay. Hit that. Hit that. System. And then you're going to attach that to a return air system. And you would actually name that the same as the unit so that you're sure you've got enough of those return grills to allow the air to be returned to the unit.
So this is supply air 521.
No, this should be return air, right? This is your return
I
grills.
clicked on the purple one.
Oh, yes.
Purple to see which one it was calling out as.
You got it exactly. You're right in line. And you see, if we put those in systems, then what we can do is show the people all the system on a sheet. Just that system.
And I assume that these guys, if they're not flexed in, these must be return ones.
I would not think so, but they may. They may,
because there's a handful of them, but not. I mean, you can see them here.
That very well may. They're pulled away from the supplies. I could see that be the reason. The idea. But do you see how when we put them in that return system, now we're going to show people this is our supply and our return for this unit. This is our supply and our return for this unit. And we're going to make 18 sheets like that.
For each one.
Do you think you could show the zones? Are the zones available to see so that you could see where the zones were and what was where that return?
I don't think they did zones in this file.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they did not do zones.
Sure.
This isn't like a typical building in that sense because it's got so much shared air because it's so much big space.
Did you see that?
What's that?
This thing here.
Yeah.
Needs to get up to here.
It needs to what?
It needs to get up to there. And it's got some roofie leaders and fun stuff.
Yeah, you know what you have to do with it? You need to go west first.
Uh-huh.
And then cross over.
Go west?
Yeah, no, you need to show me the bottom.
Oh, with this thing.
Right there. The low one needs to go west and ride in that soffit.
Okay, I see it.
You see where I'm talking about? Ride down that soffit, then jump up in there.
Yep, okay, I see it. But I don't want to come up at the column, do I?
I would be wary of what steel is there, but we're supposed to have all steel in the model. That's the responsibility of the steel fabricator.
And I can push this one. West.
Right,
so
right.
Okay.
All
right.
Right. That makes sense?
Yeah, I'll take a peek at that.
And you see, if you approach the problems that you were having, the locations where you couldn't move stuff with some of these new ideas, I think you'll be able to do a little bit more.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. There's actually, like I said, there was some that I put on here that I knew that basically I just said, my brain hurts too much. If you look at it for so long.
Misty's got the same problem, and I got the same problem. That is the problem. That's why I think sitting down like this makes such a damn wise idea.
No, you're definitely poking me through and giving me, the regeneration that I need. But it is infuriating at the way these things are laid out.
You can't think of it that way, because what you're going to actually do is I'm going to start to want you not just to get it to fit, but to get it to fit the cheapest way possible, the least fittings, the easiest way to hang it, the less penetrations. Because if we can do that, if we just make money on the money that we save someone, we don't even have to charge them for BIM coordination. Does that make sense?
I got you.
But for this one right now, it's a sledgehammer. Beat the fit. Make it fit. Make it fit.
What are these? What's going on with these new points?
I don't know what that is.
A lot of my views have these points and their way to flip out. So, on these things that I just adjusted,
I would bet that's because you're running 2020 point something. Right? Your version of Revit, does it say 2020 point? Up at the top. Yeah, well, you find it there. I can't quite read.
20.2.1.1.
All right, so what happened is yours is an upgrade, and they added those, and I think they're under the site. So if you go into that view and do a VV,
they're not. Because I've had that problem before.
Once again, we can't see your screen, so it's really hard for unless you squash your screen now. Remember how you did that before?
Yeah, is it internal? Its survey points is already turned off.
No, but I think those are your internals. I think internals were created in 2020.
VV. Can you see it now? No.
I see
a little bit better. A little bit better.
Oh, okay.
What am I looking for again?
Site.
Internals. Internal origin.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
Thank you. Very nice.
Wow.
See, and that's the whole idea is if somebody was accidentally watching this stuff, they would be picking up both the ideas on how to run the duct as well as Revit answers. I think this is valuable to people. I think if I could sit on as a fly on the wall, I'll be honest, I'd like to get to the point where I'm actually attending these and just watching what people are doing. And when they get stuck or when they're doing something that there's a wiser way to do, you could train them. If you do this or if you do that. Okay.
Yeah. All right. I still say in some of these areas I've wedged things tight enough to where the insulation is on the bottom enough to where you're probably not going to get a strut through, and I don't know what to do in those scenarios.
Is that at the parking access?
This is at the parking access, but I'm not seeing. I wanted to show you that he gave me some dimensions, and he said the RCP is at 8'6" and the bottom of steel is at 10'1". And then he said, therefore, that gives us 19 inches of space. But it's the top of steel to the bottom of the ceiling. Then you've got the jib and the stud that holds the ceiling up.
They're saying that they're not running a stud. They're saying they're putting all that in T-track, and it's like 3/4 of an inch.
Okay, good then.
It doesn't matter. Draw it in. Draw it in at the best height you can. Weren't they changing the insulation thickness too?
Yeah, they went to 1.5 inches, which I've done.
Yeah, well, how can you go to 1.5 inches? Well, who's taking that liability on? Right?
Not me.
So you got the duct file for a little bit longer.
Yeah, what I was going to ask you is for food services. It's not going to change anything in the service level or anything that's penetrating. I just have to get some heights of the stuff running through the casino. And I'm just going to have to do that after these ducts get a little bit calmed down and I can find a pathway.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And see, what they're going to try to do is they're going to beat me up tomorrow. I'm guessing. Well, it's after a holiday weekend. There's a good chance that nothing's going to get accomplished tomorrow. Those are the two ways that BIM coordination meeting is going to go.
Yeah.
And I can take any beating because as we're about to explain on Misty stuff, it wasn't fair what was done. What they've done was a bad idea, and it wasn't fair to toss me under the bus because I really wasn't the one who caused the problem. The slab depression really caused the problem.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, that being said, how about we give you till the meeting tomorrow to work on the mechanical?
Okay.
How about at the end of this meeting, you go ahead and post the file?
Yep.
So I can do an export to Navis. And we were already talking about doing another export to Navis right before the meeting.
Okay.
All right. So that's going to be our goal for you is an export
Post at 1 o'clock.
But yeah. We'll be in discussion tomorrow.
Okay.
And don't put any pressure on any of this. I'd rather you get the big stuff straight first and work your way down. We still have to get a lot of domestic. We still have to get a lot of little lines to fit. You don't chase the little lines till you get the big stuff in there.
I know. I'm well aware, and I'm doing what I can.
Unfortunately, they don't seem to be well aware. They're sending us in the wrong direction, which is very common the situation.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Misty, you want to show me a little bit of your problems on your screen, and then I'll share with you mine, and we'll see if we can't solve them.
Okay.
All right. All right. So the first thing right now, Misty, you're sharing your window of Revit, correct?
Sure. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So if you make your window of Revit smaller, then I can read your text. Look at how it's doing that in StreamYard. You see how it's making the text a little bit more readable? And if
Sure.
you don't need to go much smaller. I don't have to read your text. I'm just trying to explain this concept so we each understand. If I need to be reading what's on your screen, you need to shrink your screen down. Otherwise, you can keep your screen up there. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, sure. I think I'm good.
I think the quickest method to make it fit like that, you don't have to do it now, but is to take it to your laptop monitor if you have that set up.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just drag it and drop it on your laptop monitor. It'll be full screen, and then drag it over, and then it'll be at a resolution we can typically read. That's a good call, Eric. I like that.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, you can see it already.
I can't see. Okay. All right. I can't see you guys, but that's all right. So.
No. You don't have to work on your laptop screen. You can
Okay.
drag it back over to your big screen.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. So this is one of the first areas, and this right here is the
Zoom out so I know where we are. Zoom out so I know where we are.
We're on the casino floor.
Uh-huh.
And this is right here.
All right, so the area you're at is below grade.
Correct.
Okay.
Right here. So, let's see. Okay. So all I did was comment some of these areas. So this first area here is, these are going up in the wall, but they're hitting this slab. I'm not sure what that is, if that's going to actually be built like that. And, even if it's not, it's still coming in at the turn down into this wall. So I don't know what you guys want to do.
Punt. What you'd
if
have
the pipe
to do
has to go up the center of the wall, that's what it has to do.
Yeah. So does that affect the concrete? I mean, and the strength of the concrete or any kind? It's something you can't do in concrete?
No. You go back to your multiple views real quick. Like
Sure.
do your WT real quick.
So,
All right. In plan view, zoom out a little bit in your plan view. Nope, not that one. The one below it. The one below.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right. My bet is that all has to go to a different wall. You see how they vented all up that wall?
Yeah, this way.
I don't think you want to vent up that wall. You need to turn all those. And I wouldn't go that way, because that way is upstream of where this thing is actually going. So you can see the pipe actually flows to the right on your screen. The big pipe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
So
when you want to go, remember what I was saying before. If we're trying to reduce pipe and reduce fittings, even though we're adding fittings, you want to go in the direction where it's headed. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. So you're saying that instead of coming here, we go ahead and
all of those drains go to the east to do their venting.
Okay, down here. Oh no, the east.
Other way. Yep.
Yeah, right here. Okay.
Yep.
That sounds good.
Now, if you'll turn that so the underlay's back off, and I want to see what you're looking at there. It looked like a turn down footing. All right, now cut your section box closer to the green. Take your section box and go back to where the green stuff is.
So far, that's that. You want to come back a little bit more?
Yeah, I don't think they'd want to turn up in that turn down.
Yeah, and then we have this other slab starting, but we'll be fine, it looks like.
No, yeah. You actually want to see if that other slab is going to turn right at that same wall.
I mean, down to here, you'd have to get underneath here to get.
Yeah, but I can't see where the wall is. You need to or there you go. See, so you have to get all the way to that wall. What happens down there?
It looks like it's pretty open.
Well, I'm seeing a big slab underneath there. Pick on that slab. I want to know what that thing is. Is that coming from the fabrication drawing?
This says it's a slab depressed. Let's see.
Yeah, that's what I want to.
It's coming from the architectural.
We don't care about the architectural. The only thing we care about when we're running that stuff is structural fabrication. So do an HH and hide the architectural. All right, now see if you still have a problem with some kind of turn down there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, we still
I think you do. I think you do have a problem with it.
Yeah. Because what's going to happen?
Straight at that.
It's still coming out.
They can go through that. They can go through the turn down. They can go through the turn down as long as we're not in that other wall. But you see, you just learned something very important. Where an architect drew the foundation don't mean squat.
Okay.
The only
so we're
place
fine there. Okay.
So you can go back through your list and say, oh, was that architectural stuff that was making it look bad, or was it the structural fab? We only care about the structural fab.
Now, this is so little here. Doesn't this chip away at this little part of the slab?
Remember, what they're going to do is they're going to lay that pipe in the gravel in the ground first, and then they're going to pour the concrete around it.
Okay.
Okay. And see, what would really help you with that is if you showed me, is your Revit link A Civil attached? Show me your Revit links.
Oh,
yeah, it's attached.
All right. So do a VV and turn the civil on in that one view.
Okay.
Ouch.
See how you can see where the dirt is now? That all gets buried before they pour the concrete.
Okay. And the rebar is not in that part of the concrete anyways, right?
No, that's correct.
Okay.
That's why we can run up there. That's why we can't run in that other section.
Okay. Well, cool. So this one's good to go then. Okay. This section here that I was. Okay. Let's see here. I want to, one more. Chase ahead. Okay. So, okay, this is the one that I want. And there's some really low piping, sanitary, and I didn't know why. Let's see here.
What are you doing? My computer is spinning out of control.
Your what?
My computer, I guess it's the video card fan, maybe.
We're taxing the computers. This is hard what we're doing. This is hard on the video. You got a lot of red loop.
Because
yes. That is all that deep because it comes that far from the hotel and it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper. Would you believe that was 17 foot deeper when I started on this job?
But why wouldn't you lift it up and then drop it down when you needed to go down? Why would you leave it all down?
Go to your Pure 3D. Oh, you're in your Pure 3D view. Okay.
But still, I just don't
If you
understand.
go up to the top and go to one of your 3D views, you're going to see one that's called 3D View Sanitary. So go up to your 3D views.
You start on one side of the building, and it is as low as you can get it to the, or close as you can get it to the building, but it always has to slope 1/4 of an inch per foot
because the building is so big. Yep.
Okay. So that's the reason. Okay. So I just thought that was weird.
Roof leaders. I think the roof leaders have some pretty mean slopes to them too.
Yeah. Okay. Now, interesting point so that you understand. See that deep green pipe? That's already been put in the dirt.
Okay. So yeah, I just got to redo that. I don't know why they didn't have a elbow. So okay. So that's in the dirt. That is that's grease waste.
That the light green is the grease waste where you were just saying you need to put an elbow.
Yeah. What's already installed?
Dark green, the really
okay.
Deep.
The dark. That's already okay. Okay. Yeah, I haven't messed with any of that. So I've only been messing with those gang toilets that you said. So
yeah, the gang toilets, and then the plumbing on that slab. Do you need more help with that?
The plumbing with what?
On above the service level, so it's the casino floor. Let me go ahead here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't do a lot up there. So
all right, so this is the casino floor. Let's see. What I did was this. So what I want to do is I'm going to try to get that whole area. Oh, really? Just give me a second. I'm trying to stretch this guy out.
No problem. You know, your answer that you gave me from this grease waste.
Yeah.
It's going to help me a lot. I think some other things had to do with that. The architecture was on, so I bet that was some of my other questions.
I'm betting it is. I'm betting it is. All right, so I'm going to cut right above the floor. And I guess I got to go a little bit deep. All right, now let me get my orientation back. All right, now typically in this view, okay, so typically in this view, I have all disciplines. This is my coordination casino, and I want this view to have all Revit links on, okay? So if I'm going to start to try to do an extra one, even though I'm not saving my changes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to this coordination 3D views, and I'm just going to duplicate this view. And see, in this view, what I'm trying to show you, I'm going to turn off all Revit links. Notice I didn't want to mess up my other one. And the only thing I really want to look at is this structural fabrication. All right, now I'm going to stretch this out to capture where that elevated slab is. Okay. You know what I mean by elevated slab? This is the area that's above the service level, right? Let me see. Can you see that? Yes, you can see that. So this area right here is all elevated all the way out to here. You see that? And then down this little leg. What happened is, can you see where this gray, this little bit darker gray is?
Sure.
What happened is they thickened that slab in those areas. All right. So if I wanted to check this particular area, I could go like this and maybe like this. Now, because you don't have the coin section box, you would have to go back to your coordination casino and type in BX, where I could have just typed in XX and it would have done that. All right. See, so this is zooming me down to that area where we've got this new depression.
This turned on black. Okay, it's thinking. There you go.
Can you see that new depression? And this is where I was saying that it almost helps to not have these filters on right now. And I don't typically like to turn these off. That's for the floors, and the architecture is already done. See that thickened slab? I'm just trying to make sure that my pipe isn't running into that thickened slab. Can you see that?
Tab on the thickened slab.
Right there.
Okay.
Once again, this is a spot where it would be beneficial for you to not get confused by the architecture, right? So you might hide. That's my structural fabrication. And that's my architectural. So that, and you see the problem I have that I'm angry about is this is drawn by the structural fabrication, this thickened slab and this regular slab. Well, how can those two slabs both occur at the same spot right there? It makes it difficult. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to stretch out to where that thickened slab is to make sure that any pipes and traps that you've got don't run into that thickened slab. Okay? And it appears as though that first thickened slab, we're all down below. So now I'm going to grab that section box. I'm going to go back to this one here, and you're going to see, so really, if I was smart, what I could have done is in this view here, can I go to the top view? If I would have said, oh, I can see my thickened slab is right there. And I could draw this right around my thickened slab. And all I can see, I've got a light green and a dark green. And what I would do now is I would just go make sure that that light green and that dark green, when they were going across that thickened slab, they weren't hitting it. And sure enough, they weren't. So now let's do this. Now let's take this guy, go back to that view, and take him to the next thickened slab. Okay? And this one, we're going to see there's problems. You see how I'm going just around that thickened slab? Just around that thickened slab. Now go back to that other view. And you see what's happening here. See this guy here? This all has to be dropped down. Can you see what I'm looking at?
Okay.
Misty?
Yeah, because I'm trying to do the same thing you are. So yeah, because it looks like that trap is way up in the concrete now.
That's right, and that's what they tried to make me look bad as. Why didn't I move that below that slab? But that slab was just put in there a couple weeks ago. Well, 4 weeks ago. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
So that one is a problem. So if you've got a view that's similar to this, that you can walk right down and check. We check this one. This one's a problem. Then you would check this one, which looks like, once again, it's probably going to be a problem.
Sure. Okay.
This one's going to be a problem. That one's going to be a problem. You're going to find that each one of those, you're going to have to do a bunch of lowering. But you can see it's only in this upper quadrant right here.
Okay.
And they're going to beat the shit out of me tomorrow because that's not done for tomorrow. But I'm telling you, it's more important for me to be able to get the assistance that I'm getting. So
I can work on this for a couple hours.
No, I don't think that's a wise idea. I think we've got some good production. I'm glad. I will double check the stuff that you've done already, you know, where we have that one single penetration in all those wet walls. And I need to look at exactly what Eric was looking at, is what is the effect of the secondary grid on our plumbing. And by being prepared for that for the meeting, that's much more important than this. The structural engineer, the structural contractor should have told me he needed to thicken the slabs where I had plumbing. That was inconsiderate for him not to do that, and then me to look bad because why is my pipe in that concrete? So if you can get that done by Wednesday, that's Tuesday night and Wednesday night, you're looking at probably 5 thickened slabs. That would be greatly appreciated.
Okay.
Fair?
Fair.
All right. It's 45 minutes that we've been on. We want to talk about any other things. You got any other questions?
You're clear, or you good?
What's that?
You said you were going to show us something on yours.
On my screen? That's what I was just showing you.
Okay, gotcha.
I was trying to show Misty how she could do these thickened slabs.
Compressed slabs easily.
Right. And remember the big benefit, guys, if you forget what we talked about, this is on the YouTube channel. Okay. Yep. So that if you go to sleep and you forget tomorrow and you're like, you need a refresher, just zoom back to it into the video, and I think you'll be able to get it further progress.
All right.
Right? The big thing is it allows me to progress at other more important things. I need to save the heart and the brain right now. I don't have time to be worried about saving the legs and the arms. Misty, I need you to save the legs, and Eric, I need you to save the arms. All right? So the patient don't die.
All right.
And we're going to talk about that more in future videos. We're going to get into what this Brooks Law is and how it explains this exact situation. Because you can't just be an engineer, and I can't just sit here and scream at you guys, I need that done. Yes, I got to have it done tonight. And then you go to bed angry and feeling bad, and I go to bed feeling angry and bad. That's not going to make this project win. I want to win at this project. I want to kick this project. When we start putting all of this into the video game, I promise you both of you are going to say, why didn't we do this a lot sooner?
Yeah.
All right? It would make our ability to visualize this stuff so much better. We need to get this last little punch, and then we need to make the video game, even though nobody else thinks that it needs to be done. Make sense?
Yep.
Sounds
I do
good.
appreciate your help, and I just thank you. Thank you very much for the help.
All right, I'll post mechanical tonight, and then we'll talk tomorrow about when I need to post again.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm gonna export the Navis once I grab yours. I'm gonna export the Navis, and then my plan is that sometime around lunchtime, 1:00, we do it again. Okay.
All right.
Yep. Good luck, Eric. I know there's a lot of spaghetti up there, so.
Oh yeah.
You guys have a good night.
All right.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.